Hello, this is Decoris Chadwick. I'm the head programmer of HKO, and this will be on our website soon from today that I'm recording this. And this is the tutorial for C++. So I guess I should tell you guys about a little bit about C++. C++ is a coding language, and with this language, you're allowed to do a lot of different things, such as creating and developing games, and as simple as making a folder on the desktop, and that will be in a later episode of this tutorial. So right now, I have it up on the Bloodshed website. I need you guys to go to this Bloodshed website, and I will leave this. I'll give you guys the link, either depending on if I'm on YouTube or if you're on my site, in the description or down below the video. So what I'm gonna need you guys to do is, first you'll actually, if you go to bloodshed.net, plain and simple, then what you'll have to do is you'll have to go to download, and then just click on dev C++, and it'll have a drop down this for a dev C++ 5 currently beta and dev C++ 4. And I'm gonna need you guys to click on dev C++ 4 because betas aren't the best thing in the world, and the reason why it's beta is because it's still in testing, and we don't really want anything that's still in testing. So I'm gonna need you guys to scroll all the way down, and it'll say download from SourceForge or download from cin.get. Go ahead and click that SourceForge. Right now this thing is having a problem, error occurred accessing. Alright. Hold on. Okay, go ahead and download it from Simtel, because SourceForge is I'm gonna have to pause it for a second. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, you guys, this is me back. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the beta, and then just go to the download page, and it'll actually give you the best one. So just go ahead and click on SourceForge from the first link right there, and it should start your download soon. So get everything downloaded and install it. It's easy. It's just go by what everything says. When you're in the installing phase, it'll ask you if you want your theme changed, and if it does, just change it to the theme that you like. Me, I have the blue theme, and it's just everything's rounder and bluer, and I like it like that. So download and install, and tell me, and come back when you're done. Alright, so if you download it and install it, your page that comes up should look like this. It says dev C++ 4.9.9.2. If it's a bit better version, if it's a bigger version, then that's just what it is. It won't change at all. The coding is the same. So, but the best thing that it'll change is the user interface, and it really doesn't matter. I'll tell you where everything is. So the first place that you're gonna go to is you're gonna go to File, you're gonna go to New, and you're gonna go to Project. I always like to create a new project because when you're developing in C++, you want all your files together. You don't want them separate, because then that'll really mess you up, because you have to actually find them all. So go to Project and click Console Application, and then name your project. And as you can see in the back of my screen, it's already there, and that's my project. So console application, name your project, press OK, choose where to save it, and then it should come up with the main.cpp, and that's what we're going to be working in right now. So it comes up with a lot of different things that isn't the basics for this tutorial. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete the things that we don't need. So I'm gonna need you to delete everything that I'm deleting right now. I just deleted this include cstdlib, and then I'm deleting these two because those are in later tutorials, and I'm deleting this system pause since it's in the cstdlib directory. So, and highlight the exit success and return 0. Just type in the number 0. We're gonna be returning 0 for that's almost all the time. Return, as you can see that, well, we'll go through everything. I apologize. I'm going ahead of myself. So, as you can see on the screen, it has a hashtag and it says include, and it says include iostream. What we're including is iostream, and the less than and greater than symbols. And what this is saying is it's saying we're using this library, and this is the standard library for input and output and everything that we really need in this tutorial. With the iostream you can do a lot. And so right now we're only going to be working with iostream, but there are many different types of libraries, especially already included ones in the dev C++ mingw library. The dev C++ that you downloaded was the one with mingw. So yes, with mingw GCC. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take you step by step for what's going on. The hashtag include iostream. Iostream is a library, and it contains the input and output. I just said that, but so you usually unless you're making like a big program, iostream is really good. If you want to input something to the console, iostream is what you need, and that's probably that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial right now. And then we have using namespace std. Now, using namespace std is basically an easier way to do something that's very persistent while you're using C++. And I'm gonna show you what's wrong with it. Why do we use it in a second? But basically, it's using the standard library. That's std stands for standard. So it's using the standard library so that we can actually use cout without actually having to initiate it, initiate a whole bunch of things, and I'll show you that later. So next we have int main. Int main is the main function. Every program that you're gonna make needs a main function, and this is where it is. You separate your mixed up. You separate your source code and everything with classes and other things, but they all have to connect to the main function. And right now we're only going to be working in the main function because we're not going to need anything else. But in later tutorials, I'll teach you how to make other functions and use those other functions. And there are also functions that are pre-built in for you guys, so that you can do like almost anything. So we have int main. The int stands for integer, and right now, since it's in back of this function, it sits in back of the function main. It stands for the return type, and as you can see, we're returning an integer right there. So and that's basically what the return type is. If you have a function that says string, then you're gonna have to return a string. If you have a void, then you're not gonna have to return anything. But we'll talk about that later. I'm just giving you guys a dip of the spoon inside here. That was very horrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna actually go into the body, and I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to do. So first, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to write cout. Cout is mean output, console output, and that's all we're gonna be doing for this tutorial. We're just gonna be outputting to the screen, but you need more than just the cout, because cout it may be just a name, but it wouldn't basically recognize it. So what we're to make it recognized, we're gonna need the two less than signs, and those two less than signs are saying this is cout. We're gonna be outputting this to the screen, and the less than signs always face left. Oh, you always need a less than sign, and there's a difference between a greater than sign and a less than sign, and that'll be in the next tutorial. So, and then when making a output statement, you're also gonna need a string, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use all you need is the quotation marks, and these quotation marks, all they do is they tell your they're basically holding the strings that you're writing down together, and they're making sure that cout reads that all the string instead of going over that. And so also, and then we're gonna need and then at the end of the statement, we're gonna need two other less than signs, and then end L. Now there are other ways of doing end L. End L means end line, and there are other ways of doing end line, but at this moment, that's a bit more advanced than what we are right now. So inside these two quotation marks, we're gonna need a string, and any string. And what we're gonna do for this program is we're gonna do hello world, and that's a simple program that almost all people start out with. I started out with hello world, and it was hectic because I barely knew what was going on. So we need cout, two less than signs, quotation marks. Inside quotation marks, we need hello world and end L. You don't have to put hello world. You can have anything. You can have my fish tastes good, and it'll still output it to screen. It's easy. It's as simple as that. And also, what we're gonna need is let's go ahead and run this. So let's go ahead and run this. We're gonna compile. The arrow at the far left of the screen under the project is your compile, and this just means put everything together. Make sure that no errors or anything. So since we're in C++ and we're gonna use main, but we're gonna use this for all right. So we're just making sure that there are no errors. Is that a colon or a semicolon? Yeah, that's a semicolon. Also, at the end of each statement that you make, you need a semicolon. Semicolons are telling the compiler this is where this statement ends. Just like this cout hello world, at the end it says it has a semicolon. And if we didn't have a semicolon, then it'd read past this line and then it'd go to return, and then it wouldn't know what return was because it mixed the end L with return with 0, and then it'd be like, what is going on here? This isn't correct. This is end L return. What does that mean? End line return end line? No. So it'll give you an error. One thing you do learn in C++ is that errors are your best friend. And because errors actually tell you what's going on. Without an error, and something's wrong with your program, without an error, something will go bad and you wouldn't know what was wrong, and you'd have to look through all your code. That's also a reason for organizing your code. Organizing code is a tutorial within every tutorial. And right now, since we do only have one line for this, it's not really necessary to really organize because it's just one line of code, except for these two spaces. But I'm afraid that a lot of times right now, if you run this right now, it should blink. The screen should blink. If it doesn't, then that's good. And so we'll compile and run. Linking. Yes, as you can see, there's nothing on the screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna include, if you're a Windows user, well, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to include cstdlib, cstdlib, and what we're doing right now is we're just making sure that this program stops at this line. It makes sure that you can actually read the output. And so what we're gonna what we're gonna type in is we're gonna type in cin.get. This should what cin.get does is it makes sure that the program can sees what you're doing. Make sure that you have to type in a button, return a button to like a character to make sure that you've read everything. It's basically to make sure that you read everything. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna compile this again. cstdlib, cstdlib. It's cstdlib. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's cstdlib. Sorry. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this. All right. I had some problems. Make sure that you put on console application. And if it's not, if the console window is not coming on, then make a new project, and then make a new source, make a just make a new project, and then copy and paste it inside there. So because I had to do that, I don't know what was wrong, so that's what I troubleshooted for it. So as you can see, so far it says hello world, and that's all we wanted to type in is hello world. And as you can see, the whole program ignores white spaces. White spaces don't matter. White spaces are just like what you see. They're just white spaces. You don't care about them when you're reading. White spaces mean nothing except maybe after a period, and that's just a period. That's the period that's getting the effect of having a white space, or the end of a word that's having the effect on the white space. But in reality, if you read something that has no spaces, you're gonna read the same. You're gonna read it just like normal. So as you can see, it says hello world, and continuing on with my white spaces, you can have thousands of white spaces. This will still compile just like it compiled before, and the reason for that is because the compiler doesn't notice white spaces. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna back out of here. And it's still compiling exactly normally. So what we learned here is we learned output, we learned the include library, the include function, the include hash sign, and the using namespace, which means using the standard library. We're including input and output string. That's just the containing very simple input output and things that we're gonna need for a lot of tutorials. And then we also included stdlib. The only reason why we did this for right now is to get cin.get, and cin.get get right here. The cin is a name of a function. Wait, no. Yeah, and get is the method name. And we're gonna learn more. We're gonna go deeper into method names later, but for right now, just know that cin.get make sure that once you have to enter a key for the console window to exit, because without that, the console window will blink. Because that's all you told it to do. You told it to display hello world to the console and end abruptly. That's what return 0 means, is end. So cin.get, we learned output, standard output, which is cout, hello, and then we have the hello world inside the quotation marks, and we have endl, which means end line. And we learned about the return type. We learned about int, which means integer, and that's and goes into our next tutorial, or next tutorial after the tutorial after the next tutorial about that the variables, and we'll go more into variables later. And then we have our main function, when we learned about how everything ends up with a main function. And then we learn the return, and then we return 0, and that just means the return is a success, and we don't need anything else. So we don't want to do anything else. So, your homework is to actually output to the screen, "My fish tastes good." And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to re-put in all of this information, and if you need to, you can still pause the video. I will have the source code below, either in the description or my website, depending on which either which you're watching this on. So thank you guys for watching. Donate if you can. $1 would work. The only reason I would make you guys donate is for you guys to get t-shirts, to have t-shirts and everything that would be cool to have for you guys. It's not about me. It's about you guys learning and having a better way for you, for showing you guys how this works. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Dakar Chadwick, the head programmer and founder of HKO Tech, which is actually Tech Nation. And thank you, and watch my other tutorials. And I am gonna add in something else. I apologize for saying "and" a lot, but I'm gonna have to add into something else. In these tutorials, what I want to do is I want you guys to ask questions. That's the only reason why I'm gonna making these tutorials, because when I was learning C++, and I still am learning C++, C++ isn't something that you just learn. There are more and more things coming out for C++, and more things to learn. There's a lot of things to learn. So I want you guys to ask questions. These tutorials are for you guys to learn. And when I was learning C++, I was searching through so many different tutorials just to find one thing, and a lot of people didn't have it. If I miss anything out, I want you guys to ask a question, and I'll make an extra tutorial about that, because I want you guys to learn everything you need to know about programming, and I want you guys to be able to program robots, and that's what I did last year for first it's named first. Just you can go to that website. So ask questions. Questions are my best way to get to you guys. I can't read minds, especially if I don't even know you. I can't read your mind, so ask the question, and don't be ashamed. I've asked many stupid questions, or many questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. I've asked many questions that a lot of people said as very obvious, but it's still a question, and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to ask questions. If you're on YouTube watching this, please subscribe if you want more. And thank you for watching.